Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome to Tubi Tuesday. Getting down to the wire with this season. Let's talk about Alienator, a movie made in 1989, wasn't released till 1990, directed by Schlockmeister Fred Olin Ray. This is. Stop texting me! This is one I've been waiting for to do. I've had it on Tubi for a while. I've had it on a list to do at some point. Even just do it as his own video, not even a Tubi Tuesday. Just because, I watched Hack the Movies. They did a video on this. It was underrated alien movies, and they named their own. They actually had Fred Olin Ray on there. They named their own personal favorite underrated alien movies, and then they just talked about Alienator for the rest of the episode. So here it is. Apparently, this is technically, it's not two movies, but it is two different filming things. Everything with the alien escape, chasing in the woods with all the people, and all that is one movie. And all the Jan Michael Vincent stuff was filmed later, which is why it feels so disconnected from the rest of the plot. There's also a text crawl at the beginning that had nothing to do with anything that they filmed. It was added later. Even the score used at the beginning of this was not the original score by Chuck Serino. That was used for another movie that he did, that Fred Olin Ray did. So, but this was a different score they used. Dun, 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 dun. And I want to apologize. I feel like I need to apologize to the actress who plays the Alienator, because I did not realize this was a woman until they sent her out, and I went, that's a woman. I did not know that. She's a bodybuilder. So, yeah, that happens. I don't know. I thought, because you look at the picture, you don't see a woman. I mean, it's got the boobs. I don't know. I didn't know the woman. The subject here is an alien criminal. There's also supposedly, according to the crawl, he's a rebel leader. But here he's an alien criminal, it says the rest of the film, and he escapes. And he's tracked by the Alienator, and he's found by a group of local 40-year-old teenagers. They look like they're almost 40. That they do. They try to look at, like, this one dude, I call him Billy from Power Rangers, because that's what he looks like, only he's more blonde. Right? And it's funny, because at one point, he tries to fight the thing. He's like, hey, I'm like, oh, here we go. Go, Power Ranger. He gets his shit kicked in right away. And I go, never mind. Billy sucks in this movie. Also, Jan Michael Vincent is clearly drunk in this movie. I love his lines. We have to send out a guy to take him down. Send out the Alienator. Take this guy down. He's clearly shit-faced doing this. You could not be bothered. Which, fits because Jan Michael Vincent himself was a very known alcoholic. Substance abuse and legal problems after leaving Airwolf. He appeared in low-budget and independent films till retiring in 2003. During the latter part of his life, he suffered health issues before dying in 2019 from cardiac arrest. Drugs will do it. Right, where's a substance abuse and legal issues, health issues? Most of his life. In 1977, 78, and 79, he was arrested for possession of cocaine. And in 1984 and 1985, he was arrested after 2 bar brawls. In 1987, he was charged with felony assault, but was acquitted after his attorney argued that a woman tripped and fell on a telephone cord in his home. The woman that he reportedly hit. In 1988, Vincent was arrested for drunk driving, but avoided jail by entering rehab. Well, according to this movie, he was still not sober because, they filmed in 89, so he was clearly shit-faced doing this movie. You also got Ross Hagen. I know him from something. Site hackers. Died 2011. I can't find anything that here. He looked familiar to me though, like I've seen him or something. Alienator 1990. That's on Island. Future television. Something from television, I think. Wild Wild West. Fall Guy, Danger Bay. No. I might have seen him on an old rerun of something. He was on Bonanza and stuff like that. I don't know. He looked familiar though, but I can't place any of the stuff that he was on. Nope. I don't know. And of course, there's no real synopsis on Wikipedia, and there's not one on IMDb either. So I'm going to have to go with this on my own. So all I know is that we start out in space, but in present day, apparently. And they are, like, they have... It's weird. We have Jan Michael Vincent and PJ Souls in some weird outfit where her boobs are out, but they're not out because they're out, but then they're covered down here. I don't know. I almost wonder if the original idea was for them to be out the whole time, but they're like, no, you can't do that. There's no boobs in this movie, by the way, not really. No. And then there's this priest guy whose name is Lund. And again, this was all part of reshoots that they did to beef the movie up, to add more plot. This guy, Robert Clark. And they have this criminal named Cole that the text scroll said was a rebel leader, but here's criminal. I'm going to point out two side actors here. One of the guys here is Jay Richardson, who you may have noticed as a side actor in many of an adult films. Certainly those that had aired on Cinemax, because that's what I remember. That's what I seen him from. You know, you're a teenager, and everyone goes to bed, so you go to Cinemax late at night on a weekend, because that's really how they did it. And you find that. And Jay Richardson is either a host of something or he's a side character. He's not doing the nasty, but he's around somewhere. Mostly the goofy ones, you know. And Joe Pilato, who plays the ever appropriate role. Appropriate, that's not the word. Ever important role, there we go, of Tech Number 2. I'm like, is that Joe Pilato? Yep, it's him. So eventually, you know, Cole gets out. He gets to Earth, and they send the Alienator to chase him down. Then we get the actual movie that was made. He pretty much gets hit by this group of teenagers who take him to the game warden. But there's also some filler in here where there's these two idiots, the bulk and skull of this movie, I should say. Is it Doc and Bert? No, Bert and Harley. Bert and Harley. Those are the two. Because they keep going off on each other. And they're brothers, I guess. And they're illegally getting traps on the game warden's land. And the game warden doesn't like that. But eventually these teenagers bring Cole to them. So yeah. To him, and then he brings him to this colonel with the Alienator chasing after them. They figure out how to stop. They try to, so they're like, hey, Metal messes with his, makes him short circuit, makes her short circuit. So they just it's okay. Instead, they have an idea to make a net out of barbed wire and stuff, and then decide to blow her the fuck up, which of course doesn't work. And then they make this net made of barbed wire and other metal, which short circuits it. During this, the Colonel also shoots off the necklace thing the Cole has, and I immediately went, "That's he's gonna turn on them," and he doesn't yet. I guess he wanted to wait till after. I don't know. It's confusing. It's very confusing. It is very confusing. Because what happens is the Alienator. They think the Alienator's dead at this point now, right? Because they do the whole short circuit, destroy it thing. Before or after they shoot off the Colonel shoots off the neck thing. So then I think it's gone, and then like Cole wants to take, was it Rick, and be like, I want to show you. I want you to equip me to this planet. And he's like, what do you want? Like, you. And they're like, this weird laser thing on his forehead. Then the next day, Rick is like all over this one girl. And that's where Billy from Power Rangers comes over. And I say Billy from Power Rangers, not really. And it's go Power. And he gets his shit kicked in. I'm like, no, never mind. And then he's like, no, I'm not Rick. I'm Cole. I equated his body so I could live on Earth or some sort of shit. Then the Alienator shows up and kills him anyway. And then the Alienator returns to whatever. But then in a twist, in the footage that was recorded afterwards, it's revealed that Cole was actually Lund's son, and he activates a lightsaber and stabs Jan Michael Vincent with it. That's the end of the movie. I'm sure there's more. It kind of just ends there. Like all the happily after, except for like when the cops actually get involved, no one's gonna believe their story, and they're gonna go to jail for Rick's murder and maybe the murder of others that were possibly murdered. Now, what happened to Bert and Harley? Did they die? I'm still trying to unlock everything on W2K26, okay? While my game will let me be connected to do online modes right now. So I'm trying. Evil Ted, I'm trying. But yeah, this was... Again, with these movies specifically, I don't expect much. This was schlocky. It was goofy. But now one of those things where like you see boobs everywhere. There's no boobs in this movie. Except for if you got like PJ Souls. But it's covered. They're covered. Right? They're covered. I thought, for how much was the... It doesn't say the budget, of course it doesn't say the budget. Why not? Prism Entertainment, it says. There's like no facts here. Released on DVD by Shout Factory as part of a 2-disc action-packed movie marathon, total of 4 films. The film was released on Blu-ray by Scream Factory, featuring a commentary track by director Fred Olen Ray. Lore of tongue-in-cheek sci-fi trilogy. And despite its name, Alienator, it's not a ripoff of Alien or Terminator. Though, that's what people say, but this is technically Terminator. The robotic thing chasing after someone else, you know? And apparently, Fred Olen Ray himself said it's a semi-remake of the 1957 classic, The Astounding She-Monster, which, not coincidentally, he sought him out, which also starred Robert Clark, who was it Jund or whatever the fuck his name is? Go down, she said. Lund. What did I say? But, yeah. It's goofy. I'll give it middle of the road. Sure. I enjoyed it for what it was. The best part is when I was laughing at Jan Michael Vincent because he's clearly drunk off his ass. Like, there's one point the scene where he's trying to like fondle PJ Souls. I don't even know if that was in the script. It just seemed like that's what, and they kept that in the movie. Hey, come on, let's go. Hey. He was clearly drunk in that scene, and it wasn't acting. Most of his dialogue sounds like he was drunk. And again, knowing Jan Michael Vincent, he probably was around this time. He wasn't sober, at least as far as I know. So, yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Alienator? Leave a comment, let me like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.